Got a fun one today with my guy Adam for all our Pittsburgh people, Primanti Brothers. Adam's the CEO. So excited to have you on, Adam. Thanks
Yeah,
for
excited to
jumping
be
on.
here. You're coming after a big Steelers win, big Penn State, big Pitt. It's Penguins might have won a preseason game.
It's
Pirates
crazy.
won one. So
It's an
big sports
amazing
weekend
time.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's an
big sports
amazing,
weekend here in the Berg.
yeah, huge sports week.
Yeah.
So I guess give us a little rundown. How'd you end up at Primanti's? Give us a little of your Pittsburgh
Yeah.
background, maybe a few of your hot spots. We already understand your teams, and
Yeah.
take it from there.
Yeah. So Primanti's 91-year-old brand started in 1933 in Pittsburgh in the Strip District. Still exist in the Strip District today, same location. I've kind of spent my life in Yinzer brands. Went to Penn State, worked for Eden Park Hospitality Group, lots of roles, ended up, kind of running the cookie business at the end. Went to Giant Eagle, and worked in a whole bunch of roles there. And then had the opportunity to join Primanti's in 2018. So almost 6 years ago. And I grew up eating the sandwich. My grandfather, I think, took me to the original location when I was like 5 years old. You belly up to the counter, get that pastrami in the mouth and, hooked for life.
Yeah, I
So,
mean that you might have to be in the Pittsburgh Hall of Fame after your run. I mean, to be Penn State, Giant Eagle, Eaton Park. I mean, what's even left? Like, what
the
else could?
Steelers is pretty much, and I jokingly said to somebody the other day, I'd like sweep the floors there.
Yeah,
I
just
think to be part of that whole experience, and I got to work on it when I was at Eden Park. We ran the Steelers cafeteria in their offices, so I got to touch it from a distance. I got to put up, at Primanti's, we opened a location inside Kennywood. Check that box. You're just like checking the Inzer brands off.
yeah. So Primanti's, how many? I know there's a bunch, not a bunch,
Mhm.
but a handful down here in Florida. Even how many
Yeah, we have
expanded?
45 locations in 5 states. The brands grew to like 12 or 13 in 2013, and then really ignited the growth, and then kind of grown from there. And we just opened in Baltimore this summer. We
Getting
really
into
embraced
enemy.
Ravens. I know, yeah, it hurts
Yeah,
me inside to see a Ravens logo. It was funny. I was there a couple weeks ago, and these people came in, and they didn't know who I was. I was sitting down talking with our we call our general managers head coaches, talking with our head coach, and I heard them say, they could put a couple Steelers things in here; it wouldn't kill them, which was funny, But it was like we really embraced Ravedom, Ravens, Orioles. You got to embrace it. Got to be all things Ravens because you can't live your life being a Steelers bar. Um, you know,
fair. So how do
18 days,
you?
days a
Yeah.
year.
So for people that don't know, I guess give us a rundown on Primanti's. What makes it?
Yeah.
What do you guys call it? Something famous. I know is
Yeah,
one
we,
of the
we say
tag.
almost famous. It's like a joking, humble brag, but it's a sandwich. It's 2 slices of Italian bread, fresh baked, sliced to order. We take your choice of meat. I think we have like 19 different meats you can choose from. The number one seller is called the Pittsburgher. We jokingly call it our number two seller because beer is our number one seller.
Hmm.
Then we put cheese on top of that. Then coleslaw, French fries, 2 slices of tomatoes, all between it. It sounds like it shouldn't go well together, but when you eat that, man, it's like the cold slaw with like a vinegar-based slaw and the warm fries and the cheese and the tomatoes. It just, it's like a whole meal in a sandwich. And for people, you can't live on sandwich alone. So we have wings and pizza and salads and burgers, desserts, a full bar. Sell a ton of beer, a ton of Yingling and Miller Lite and Icy Light. It's nothing goes better than a Pittsburgher in Iron City.
Is that
Usually
your? Yeah, I was gonna say what's your go-to? Is it the
I'm a
Pittsburgher?
pastrami. I'm a pastrami guy. I like Icy Light. I like Yingling. I like Miller. I mix it up. But yeah, pastrami is my go-to sandwich.
Yeah, I'm a roast beef. Add the egg on top. I get that 9 out of 10 times. So I probably when I was living in Pittsburgh, probably got it. I don't want to say once a month. That seems a little bit much, but I was there a good bit. And it's for anyone wondering, it's incredible in college. And we went down to Fort Lauderdale for spring break. Took my teammates there. They all went back the next day. I've had friends or family or business people come in to Pittsburgh and take them there, and they end up going, what is this? And
I know.
they always come back. So
Yeah,
it's
even people are like, when we go into these new markets, I tell our team, like, just tell people to get the sandwich the way it is. And if they don't like it, we'll buy it for them or buy them something else. But like when you start taking it apart, there's something misses.
Yeah. When
So it's
people
like,
get like, oh, coleslaw, and it's
yeah,
like,
it's on the side.
or
Or
just,
coleslaw on the side. I'm like, well, what are you doing?
yeah, you
It's
can't.
that cold slaw with the vinegar, mixing it with the warm fries. Just does it.
And we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but Dave Portnoy from Barstool, he goes around, tastes pizza, tastes different spots. He went to Primanti's a couple of years ago. What was the
Yeah, it
story or
was
the
like
rundown on that?
20. It was either 2020 or 2021 because it was right in the pandemic. It was in Pittsburgh pushing his sports betting app, and we heard he was in the market, and we're like, he's going to stop. He might stop in. And he went to our South Side location, which is like one of the original ones, and great video online. Guy, he got a sandwich, didn't really understand it. He's eating the sandwich outside. Yinzer appears out of nowhere and tells him he's taking like a wussy bite. Shows him how to really eat it, and he gave us a 9-1, which is, I think he's given out like less than 10 nines in his whole, hundreds of reviews. So quite honored by it. We've really amplified that message. We've got a local Pittsburgh artist drew painted a picture of Dave Portnoy, in our restaurant holding the sandwich with the 9-1. So it was really, it was a during kind of the low of lows of kind of the pandemic when restaurants are closed and we're takeout only. This was like a real win, and really exciting from that standpoint, and really energized the team. But to get a 9 is unbelievable. He was just here like 2 weeks ago. He's given out 3 8-2s in the pizza category, which I guess getting above an 8's like, unbelievable. I've followed some of these places. They are selling out pizza by like one of them is like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. They're completely sold out for the day.
Jeez. Yeah, no,
It's
the
amazing.
one, yeah, I saw that a few of them I'd never even really heard of, or the one of them, and I was like, interesting. Now you want to try and you want to go. It's crazy that just how marketing's changed. I guess, how do you guys utilize, or I know you mentioned the painting and some stuff, but how do you guys utilize
Yeah, I
for
mean, we do a
marketing?
lot with influencers. Both I call them, hyper local, so the person in a market that has a couple thousand followers, and then kind of regional influencers. And we're very fortunate. The brand has a celebrity following, so we have the ability to jump in on celebrity conversations, whether it be JJ Watt, who's in Pittsburgh hanging out with his brothers that live here, and saying he needs a Primanti sandwich because he's arrived. He's like, I need a Primanti sandwich and pierogies. So, you jump in that conversation. Rich Eisen, really a lot of sports, but also a lot of celebrities, music celebrities. Wiz Khalifa, who's a Pittsburgh guy, loves Primantis. Tweeted, it might have been 2-3 years ago, tweeted something. I'm back in Pittsburgh. I need weed and Primantis. And our social
Yeah,
team jumped in and said, we got the Primantis covered.
yeah,
Uh, so
good
I mean,
viral
that's,
marketing.
yeah, no, it's a great brand from that standpoint. We've had presidents and kings and world leaders come and, have the sandwich. We've had musicians, sports celebrities, TV celebrities, and then we're fortunate. There's some great people like Joe Manganiello from Pittsburgh that just, loves the sandwich and, comes in every time he's in Pittsburgh, he appears in one of our restaurants. I mean, you'll hear he's there, but just everyday guy sitting and eating a sandwich. I think that's the power of the brand. I always say there's like billionaires sitting next to, blue collar workers, both enjoying the same thing.
Yep.
Sort of the power of the brand.
Yeah. And how do you I know you mentioned some of the influencer stuff. Do you do any other marketing? Like, do you do
Yeah,
TV, radio, billboards? How do you guys?
we're really digital first. We went all in on digital, but when kind of the pandemic hit, we kind of pulled off. But we use billboards, we use radio. We try to get the message out there. We use a lot of PR. We do a tremendous amount of PR stunts. When Kenny Pickett got traded to the Eagles, we did a come turn in your Kenny Pickett jersey, and we'll give you a gift card. And it wasn't about like, kick Kenny when he's down. It's like people spent hard earned money getting a Kenny Pickett jersey. Now this guy's not a Steeler. So let's give him something. We had over 250 jerseys
Oh wow.
get shown up. So, we did Paul Skeens. We did a mustache day when he made the All-Star break. If you came in with a mustache on, you got a free sandwich. Made national coverage. I always say to the team, we try to punch above our weight class when it comes to PR. So we're constantly looking for ways to just punch above that weight class and connect with sports or what's appropriate. I think if you remember when Amazon was looking for a headquarter too, we came up with this idea: if Amazon came to town, we give every employee a free sandwich for life, which got like national coverage because like every city was throwing crazy things. Well, Pittsburgh's throwing sandwiches, so definitely there. And then I think the one we're working on right now is the draft is here in 26. We got the U.S. Open here in 25. but it's like, how do you become part of the draft in 26?
Hmm.
Like you're going to have 200, I want Detroit have 250, 275,000 people come to the draft.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine all the Pittsburghers, like the Yinzers and coming down?
Yeah,
It's going to be crazy.
it is. That's awesome. Yeah. So how do you, I'm curious on the sports side then. Obviously,
Mhm.
it is a little bit sports centric, but how do you view, I mean, a lot of it is revolved around Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, Pitt, you name it. How do you view that angle, or do you view it as
Yeah.
a sports bar, or what's the sports side of it?
Yeah. I mean, this year, we're making a big investment in upping our game, improving the TV experience. I think you wake up one day and you realize that people can get a 100-inch TV for their house for
Hmm.
pretty affordable. Or you can get an 86 right now. I think it's like $400. So we've really upped the game, making sure we have like really great TVs in our restaurant. We brought in betting content. So we have a ticker, we call it. It runs like, so if you're into sports betting, we've got like live betting information going, live sports stats going. And then we buy all the content. So I think I saw a stat that like, if you want to get on if you want every football game this season, it's like 900 and some dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we bought it all. So you don't need to spend that. You can come in and you can get a meal. I went to one of our restaurants yesterday with my two of my kids, and for three of us, it was $34. Like and we watched a bunch of games, and that's like cheaper than being at home. So that's really the thing. It's like, we want to have the best viewing experience with great, and then have all the content you want. So, we kind of say every game all the time, have every football game, every college game, have baseball, have hockey, and then start getting into some of these, there's Premier League. People are really into Premier League soccer. Like, let's be the place for Premier League soccer.
Hmm.
Let's have golf on. So that's really, we've leaned in heavily this year with this idea of like, I think you need, it's almost $1,000 as the average person to get every football game. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, all the streaming. Yeah, it's kind of a nice. It sucks from that side, but from your side, it's pretty good because it's a relatively low investment for a whole.
Yeah.
Call it one location to just go buy all that, or you probably can just discount the whole thing.
Unfortunately, it's not cheap, but
it's not cheap, but you're going to drive more people than might just be like, I can stay home. But now it's like, I really want to go.
Well, and there's something about being with fans, like watching that game yesterday. And when the Steelers, when Calvin Austin tears off a 55-yard pass, like the energy in a restaurant with, probably 150 people in there yelling for Steelers. The energy is unbelievable. So it's there's something about that. So that's really the piece, is like, how do you make sure you're in an environment where there's great energy, and even if you're not a Steelers fan, we let you in the door.
Right.
So
how do you view like youth sports or whatever of getting people after their games, or do you guys sponsor any youth community things?
Yeah, we do stuff locally. We connect locally with youth sports. We do we call it Dine and Donate. Restaurant can host a fundraiser night, and we have groups who are, raising $500-600 in a night, for just eating, which is a home run. And but we're the place to go afterwards. We can hold large parties, do great when there's like a hockey arena or a soccer arena or basketball for kids. To bring a party of 40 in is like, okay, yeah, maybe you aren't all going to be able to sit together, but we're going to be able to take care of you, and it's an affordable meal, and there's something for everyone. And if mom and dad want to drink, then there's, they can get that. It's really, from that standpoint, we embrace the kind of the youth sports before and after the game. We think we're a great place for people to go.
And our Saturday, Sundays busiest days, or what?
Yeah, no, the weekend can be busy. Depends, football season. If we got a Monday or Friday night game, that can help. But yeah, a Monday or Thursday night game. But yeah, no, the weekend, that's historically restaurants, but people have time to go out. It's like kind of Thursday to Sundays, the big days.
Yeah. So 91 locations, 5 states now. Or how many locations?
45.
45. 91 years old. That's what I messed the number up. The role of the CEO entail per se. I know there's probably a million little things, but each location has its own staff. I'm sure general manager. What is, we'll call it more corporate Primanti's look like?
My role is to not to screw it up. That's that's what I jokingly say. It's like, day in, day out, like my role is to like make sure the business, keep everyone on the tracks, drive the business, make sure that attract great people to work here. That's what I focus on, day in, day out is that. So, I always say to the team, like, my job is not to screw it up.
And is it family owned or is it still the
No,
same?
no, we've got a group of investors,
Okay.
management team, but a group of investors.
Do they own any other,
Yeah, they
call
have
it,
other. I mean, some of our investors have other restaurant chains they own. So
interesting? Like
yeah, yeah. No,
similar concepts they have or
some
different?
similar, some different. And then other things.
Got it. And then it's still private. I'm assuming
Yep.
as a
Yeah, private owned. Yeah. No, I mean it's been, and the goal is to be here 91 more years.
right.
That's really, that's my goal is that the brand continues to be relevant. We never want to be an oldies act.
Hmm.
I think that's really key is you don't want to be an oldies act. So like, how do you continue to be relevant and not be an oldies act?
Yeah. So what's sort of your I want to call it roadmap. It's not even maybe the right word, but what's your vision? Obviously, you want more sports betting, all this TV,
Yeah. I
more
mean, I think
PR stunts, but yeah.
yeah, I mean, my vision is to just be a really great place to eat, great place to hang out with friends, a great place to watch sports, continue to be affordable, an affordable offering for people. How do you continue to offer that way that it's, you can eat there more than once. I don't want to be the special event place ever. And then, protect the sandwich. The sandwich has to be the center of things. We need to continue to develop around the sandwich because, people can't eat sandwiches all the time, but like, I want to continue to be like a really great place for sandwich. So coming up soon, we're bringing back we call it our Primanti turkey
Hmm.
sandwich, which is our Thanksgiving sandwich, has cranberry on it and, a turkey and stuffing. So it's like an ode to Thanksgiving. Like, how do you take this world famous sandwich and just make it a little bit unique and different?
Yeah. And then from a Steelers standpoint, we'll end it on this. What do you or we'll actually go all the teams, even the Pitt Panthers too, or Penn State. I don't know if you're obviously still a Penn Stater.
Yeah, no, I can talk about all three. My parents went to Pitt, so I'm Pitt.
Okay. What are you seeing for this upcoming? I mean, we're still early,
I
so
know. I mean, I had the Steelers at 10-7.
okay.
I think there's a funny thing. It's like you loved us at 9-8, you'll love us at 10-7. But
Hmm.
hey, Justin Fields, I think he is our quarterback. Sign this guy now. It's kind of my thing. Like let's lock him down now because the guy's done at the end of the season. I see Russell here. I'm going to throw this out. Russell Wilson gets traded to the Dolphins.
Yeah, I see
I'm
that.
throwing, I'm throwing that out. Wilson to the Dolphins is my take. Is they're going to trade him to the Dolphins because the Dolphins are on like third string quarterback.
Hmm.
Allen's a good backup. I think we can go get a third string quarterback. I mean, they're out there. It's not a problem to find one.
Yeah, Ben
Steelers, I
DiNucci.
think Steelers are 11-6 in the AFC North,
Hmm.
but go into the playoffs and probably lose in the first round, knowing Tomlin. Penn State loses to Ohio State, maybe USC, the BCS finally. After I think they're the only team in like since the BCF playoffs have gone on that has not made it, has been in the top 10. And Pitt, I have no clue. They're 4-0 and like shocking. They got this Holstein from Alabama as their quarterback that's like unbelievable.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, my
He's
concern is
good.
he leaves because I mean, welcome to this world of
Yeah. What are
yeah.
your thoughts on that? The NIL and college.
I think it's ruined college athletics. I think the whole the ability to also leave after a season, like and leave again. I just think it's ruined. It's ruined the small teams.
Hmm.
Basketball is, I mean, exciting still that March Madness you have small teams that can make it, but football. I mean, you look at the top 10 teams; they've been the same for. It's the same teams. It's getting boring.
Hmm.
You're going to have a power two. You got Big Ten and SEC are going to be the power two conferences.
Yeah.
So
So it's basically just going to shift to NFL, and you're going to have it's going to be like 30 teams, maybe. It's even
yeah,
less right now, which is part of the problem. But
I mean, I heard something that they're going to build. I heard this idea they're going to. It's going to be, I think, 60 teams or 45 teams. Will be like, it's going to be the Power Four conferences plus Notre Dame plus like 4 teams every year are going to get in.
hmm.
I heard somebody write that's what they're working on, and it just hasn't come out yet. But like, that's what I think. Unfortunately, we're coming to.
Yeah, it's going to change. It's interesting. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I get these kids, getting them paid, and I'm not against that because I think
it's
that's
just not
important.
structured right now. That's the
Yeah, it's
problem.
just
There's anyone can pay anything, so some of the schools just pour
well,
way more in.
and these collectives that really aren't, NIL was about sponsorship, not about
Mhm.
these collectives.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting to
They,
see that, but
yeah. So
we will
what?
see.
Yeah. Well, we will see. What's socials website
Yeah, I
where can
mean,
people see all the locations?
PermaniBros.com, BROS. So you can find us there. And then also Primanti Bros on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok.
So everything basically.
We're everywhere.
got
Yeah.
them all covered.
We try to be everywhere. You know, I always say be where people want us to be, not where we want to be.
Good point. Love that.
Yeah.
Well, Adam, appreciate you hopping on today.
Well, likewise. Go Steelers.
Go Steelers. It's,
hopefully this is a year.
See, if it's not, there's always next year. The NFL doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon.
No, not at all. So hopefully this will be the year for the Steelers.
Amen.